Hey everybody, Willie Goldberg here from Land Investing Pros, and I've got Paul Hersko, my business partner, and we got Trevor Mock. He is the founder of Carrot. Hope did I pronounce that right, Trevor?
Dude, you got it.
All right, sounds
It's
good.
usually a 50-50 coin flip whether people get it right. So you nailed it, man.
All right, cool. Yeah, so I've got Trevor here, I've got Paul, and today we're going to discuss. So Trevor's got a website company that focuses on land investing and other real estate niches and real estate agents. And so today the conversation is going to be mostly focused on optimizing and how to think about your land investing website, and that's what we want to
Mm.
focus on today. And before we get started, I want to mention that Paul and I we created a new comprehensive land investing course. If you guys are interested in getting started in land investing, please visit landinvestingpros.com. You can find more information there. But with that, Trevor, thanks for joining us today.
Dude, Willie, I appreciate it, man. I know when you guys reached out, I was pumped to hop on with you guys because you're doing really cool stuff. And also on the land side of things, like now's an amazing time to get into land or expand it. So guys, if you're following these guys here, definitely dig deep into what they're teaching because it's a perfect time for the strategy.
Appreciate that.
Cool. So, do you mind sharing a little bit, I guess, just how you got in this space, how you got into real estate investing, how you got in starting websites and for real estate investors, real estate agents, land investors? I guess, if you don't mind, share a little bit about your story for those of you who do not know who you are.
Dude, for sure. So to kind of bring it up to today to add context. So I own a company called carrot.com. We help just shy of 7,000 active real estate investors and now agents to really control the conversation online and attract the highest quality leads, that convert the highest and have the highest margin. Okay, that's what we really help you do. And so right now about needs who are coming to you, hey, I've got a problem, can you help me? They go to Google for that stuff and we help you convert them at a much higher rate. So how do I get started on all that stuff? Man, I got into real estate and I'm gonna give you guys a brief version. I got into real estate in college. So kind of like a lot of people, had this idea to go start something themselves. Real estate kind of popped up as that opportunity. I had a college professor who was an attorney and a real estate investor. It seemed really interesting. I'm like, he was really charismatic and he seemed like he was having fun. And so it took me about a year and a half, but I picked up my first property. It was a 4-unit apartment building, literally Carlton sheets, no money down course style stuff. Like my dad bought the course and he said, if you buy a property with this in the next year, you don't have to pay me the $500 back. But if you don't, you got to pay me the $500 for it. I'm like, okay. So that's what got me into real estate. And I still own rental properties today. I bought a commercial building on the other side of the one that I'm currently in here. And so I'm a buy and hold guy. But throughout the years, man, I got really good at how do you use the internet to get in front of the people who have the most motivation to solve a problem. How do you then convert them into a lead once they get there on your site at a high rate? And then next, how do you build credibility and trust and authority with them so they want to work with you versus the other people? And so that kind of was a 8-year journey on, really learning how to build a website that actually performs versus just looks pretty, learning how to do conversion rate optimization, learning how to put up content that Google loves, that ranks high, and melding it all together the last 6 years in the Carrot.
And that's awesome. That's kind of like what we, what a majority of our content is based around, like, because I don't know if you know my background. My background is Amazon. So it's all about the data. It's all about, how can I optimize my listing? How can I optimize the keywords, et cetera, et cetera. So that's like in our course and in our videos and everything we do, it's all based around that. So there's a huge synergy between, what we're doing as a land business and what we're teaching our students and what you do in Carrot. And that's also part of the reason why we want to have you on and kind of, we'll get into it shortly, but he's going to go in and show us, what's a good site versus a bad site, what you should be doing, et cetera, et cetera. Willie, why don't we ask a couple more questions and then we'll let him just drive away.
Cool.
Yeah, no, definitely. I guess before we do, what are some features in a website that you look for? For our audience, we're looking at land investors. I guess what are some characteristics of a land website that would make it, better than one of your competing websites out there?
Dude, like I said, I'll bring up some examples and show you guys what you need to do for your websites. I think the first thing here, Willie, is a lot of land investors, real estate investors too, they'll ask the question, well, why do I even need a site, right? Because you're using direct mail to get most of your seller leads, which is awesome. Or you might even be using Craigslist or something else to get your buyer leads. So you can totally do the business without it, right? You can totally do the business without a website. I think we're not just a website, but the right website put together the right way, which I'll talk about that here in a second, where this becomes not just handy, but critical, is offline marketing creates online demand. Okay. So like any offline marketing that you do, whether it's direct mail or cold calling or radio, like whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Anything that you're putting a marketing message in front of somebody offline, what happens now in the day and age that we're in is people pick up this thing here, they pick up the cell phone, and then they go, well, shoot, like, let me see who this person is, or let me see if they're real. Let me see if this is a real thing. So any direct mail pieces you're sending out, even if it doesn't have anything really like a lot on it, even if it doesn't have a website on it, they're going to look at the phone number on there, and they're going to go, let me Google this company, like see who they are. And they're going to literally take that phone number, even if it's a tracking phone number, they're going to go to Google, type it in. And then what happens with most people's phone numbers, if you're using tracking phone number in Google, it goes scamcall.com, whocalledme.com. It's like a whole page of just crap that really lowers your credibility, even though you're not a scammer. It's because it's a tracking phone number. And then the next thing is maybe your company name is on there, or maybe your personal name is on there. They might then go to Google to search you, because we're in the age of credibility. We're in the age of trust. And when you go to buy a product on Amazon, so I'm going back to the Amazon side of it, Paul, when you go to Amazon, how many people watching this or listening to this can relate to this? You'll go to Amazon and you choose to buy a product or not buy a product because of one review, like literally one review on that list. You go, okay, I've got an objection in my mind, or a very specific thing in my mind. I want to know if this part of this product does this well, and I can't tell from the product description. And so you go to the reviews, and that one thing that's the most important thing for you, the insole on that shoe, or like whatever the heck it is, right? The speed on the thing. You look at it and you see that one review that goes, I thought this was going to be great for X, but the insole was really crappy in the shoe. Like, oh man, I thought the shoe was good. I'm not going to buy it now. And you go to the next one. Or even worse, and this is where the website comes in, y'all. Even worse is you go look at a product and it has no reviews on it. Like a no review product on Amazon, no one's going to buy that thing. They're all going to go, it looks good, but I don't want to be the first person to try it out, test it out. Let me go over here, and I will even choose a product on Amazon that has some blemishes in the reviews, but at least I know what I'm getting. At least I know, like, removes the mystery. So that's where a lot of land investors have it wrong, is they think because I'm getting deals over here without this thing, therefore I don't need it. The question I would ask you guys is, how many leads and deals are you actually losing that you don't even know about because you haven't tightened up, first of all, your own credibility online? Like if your average profit per deal in a land transaction, I'm going to make it up, but let's say it's $3,000, or let's say $5,000 for round numbers. If your average profit on it is that, and you're doing any volume of marketing, you're likely at least every quarter losing at least one of those deals and you don't even know it. 5 times 4 quarters is 20K. You're likely at least losing $20,000 at minimum in profits this year because you haven't tightened up your credibility with the right website. And so I'll talk about how you do that. Yeah. And then the next part of it here is essentially, you've got to get a website that is easy to use. It's got to be great on mobile, because that's where over 60% of the traffic on our 10,000 plus websites from our 7,000 clients is mobile. So it's got to be mobile first. It's got to be amazing on mobile. And then the next thing is, it's got to be set up in a way to where it's really easy for that person to look at your properties, engage in them, and then become a lead as a seller or a buyer. And I'll walk you guys through all of those items. But the mobile side's huge. It's got to load fast. Man, it's like, I think there's a stat that says something like every second in load time on your website reduces your conversion rate on your website. I think 2-3% or something like that. And a lot of people go with cheaper websites because they're cheap. But then let's say you lost that one lead or deal because it was loading too slow or hard to use or not good on mobile. That cheap site just cost you $5,000, and that's all happens all day long.
Yeah, I just want to dig in on that a little bit, just because I talk to a lot of land investors, a lot of courses out there, and a lot of people are just kind of posting their properties in Craigslist, Facebook, and Zillow. And I keep emphasizing to people that the reason, so Paul and I will sell over 400 properties this year. The reason we're able to do over a property a day is because we have a website, and that is really in a sales process. So it's a website, a sales process, following up with leads, nurturing leads, building trust, doing all these little things that kind of just allow you to sell property better. And so while, a lot of people teach you just post these things on Craigslist, Zillow, Facebook. If you combine that and you choose good markets and you combine that with a website, that's really going to 3 to 5, probably in our case, 10 times the amount of sales that we would get otherwise. Because like you mentioned, it's all about building trust, especially when you're talking about real estate. And people are spending significant amounts of their income on real estate. For our buyers, it is a huge part of portion of their savings, and so they want to know that they're putting it into something they could trust. They want to know they're putting it into a credible business. And so I think our core strategy, and while there's a lot of different ways to go about it, our core strategy and even about almost half of the video content in our course is about optimizing your sales funnel, which the core component of that is your website. And I just want to emphasize, if you do not have a website, you're really not gaining as many leads, and you're not converting as many sales as you could if you did have a website. So I know you mentioned that. I just wanted to emphasize that in the context of our space in land investing.
Dude, you're so spot on. And the thing about it is, like, I didn't get into the carrot business where we help you generate a lot of leads online with websites because I love websites. We build websites because it's the best tool to get this result that we're wanting, but we build them the right way, right? And so that's what I want people to look at is you don't have to do this. Like, you don't have to do this, but you have to look at the math. And if you're doing any real outbound marketing, posting on those sites or whatever it is, you are losing leads and deals if you don't have the online side tied down. And so that's where people, like I said, try to go it cheap, or they try to set up their own WordPress site or whatever it is. Takes them way more time and all that stuff. But what I'll do, man, if it's cool, there's a few elements that I want all land investors to do, whether you're using Carrot or not. Like this stuff, you guys can go deploy this stuff elsewhere. We just make it easier on our system to do it. But I'm gonna share my screen if you guys are cool with that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
And then I'll show you some stuff. And dude, if you guys have any questions too that pop up, because I don't have a set of slides, like I don't have this all structured. I'm just going to walk you guys through and show you guys some things that I would do if I were diving into the land investing side based off of our data. And I've got some special like COVID specific stuff. I know that's not going to be very evergreen after this call, but I've got some cool data that might be useful as well for land investors.
Great.
But so here's what I want to pull up here is these are just a couple off the top of my head that I knew were pulling in a ton of leads.
Wait, is it showing up for you? It's not showing up on my end.
Not showing up for you?
I'm seeing it, but I don't know if the Facebook Live is not showing it, Willie.
Okay.
But I see it, but the live doesn't. So
okay.
Just bear with us, guys.
Yeah. Well, let me click stop share. And let me do it again and just see if it was something on my end. If not, I will verbalize stuff, or I can.
No. We'll figure it out.
Do you know? Maybe I need to allow share or something. Is it just showing my personal room? Let's see.
Oh, possibly.
We're new to the whole OBS video thing. Like, we just ordered all of our video equipment. It's coming coming next week, and we're figuring it out as we go. Because we're real estate people first.
That's the thing, man. It's like I know even for us, we produce a lot of content because really content. This is one really important thing for all of you real estate investors out there. I don't care if you're doing land or houses or whatever, but we're in the age of content, and it's something we've been talking about for years. That you guys are on this call because you have a need, you have a pain. You went to the internet to find the solution. Could have been Google. Maybe you found it on Facebook or something like that, or someone told you about it. And now you see these experts, you see Willie and Paul up there as experts in being able to solve your problem. And now they're authorities because you guys are putting content from them. You guys are the authority. So when they are looking at solving their problem and making a choice, who do I work with to get this solution, this problem solved? They're going to work with you guys. Guys, the same thing happens with land. And so I'll kind of verbalize the strategy. And if we're able to show the screen.
Start verbalizing it, and then I'll Google this while you're doing that.
Yeah, hey, Willie, the video is not showing right now. Can you switch it back so at least the video is showing?
Cool. Well, I'll verbalize the strategy, and if we're able to share screen, awesome. If not, I will do a really good job of verbal storytelling and hopefully kind of paint the picture for people. But the first thing, y'all, with your land site is, and I might be able to, like, you guys could type it up on your end, either your end, if you guys can share screen, or I can just say some of these URLs to people watching. But now here's a couple that I just pulled up randomly off of our system. We have a bunch of land investors, but our platform really is for any real estate investor who is doing house flipping, wholesaling, land investing, notes, anything like that, and now real estate agents. So you can get buyers and all that stuff. and sellers. So this particular one that I'm showing right now, expresslandoffers.com. So just expresslandoffers.com is a is a seller site. And so one thing that we have found is it's very, very important to have at least one website, obviously, but ideally we like to kind of split it up into two. If you're hyper focusing on getting seller leads online, we'd like to have a website specifically for sellers of land and one specifically for buyers of land. Now, here's why that's important. A lot of people will want to kind of mesh and meld those two websites together to save time, save expense, whatever it is. But what happens is when you're doing your marketing, the marketing is most effective when you're able to speak to one prospect, right? And usually your land seller is not also a land buyer. It's not, they're probably usually not someone going out there looking for land also. And so we want all of the messaging on that website. If you're looking for land sellers online, we want all the messaging.
Again, Trevor, if you want, I think I may have fixed it. We'll see.
Yeah, let's see, man.
We'll see. I'm not sure.
Drum roll, please.
I like this Express Land Office. It's really nice.
Is it working?
It's a little delayed on Facebook. We'll see in 1 second.
Be cool if it does.
See, Trevor, you'll be able to say that you were here in the beginning before we knew what we were doing. You were boots on the ground before we.
I've done hundreds, maybe thousands of these things, dude.
There we go. I think it should be working. Yeah,
I still mess up.
I think it's working.
Is it working?
I think so. Paul,
cool.
You can let me know. Yeah, I think we're good.
Awesome. Cool. So I'll do the verbal just in case it doesn't come through really well too. But the first strategy, guys, is this: is write down. Are you looking for buyers or sellers more right now? Now you're probably looking for both, but what do you need more than anything? Do you need buyers or do you need sellers? And get out a piece of paper, get out your notepad, whatever it is, and write down. I'm looking for buyers as my number one need right now. If you need buyers, launch a website that's specific for buyers. Okay. So here's an example of this right here. Now this site here, it doesn't look that great. They kind of messed up some things there. They added some things here and there. But here's the deal, guys. The fundamentals of a high converting website are this. You need to have good, clear, clean branding so people can see. It doesn't have to be fancy. It just has to be clean and clear. You can see this, how simple Express Land Offer. This was just, let's get something simple up so it's good, clean, clear. The next thing is you need to be very clear at the top of your website exactly who I'm speaking to. Okay, so that's where you write down, am I looking for buyers mainly now or sellers, or you might be looking for both. Choose one at a time to focus on your website build out. But I can see very clearly here that I'm looking for a buyer, right? I'm speaking to the buyer here. And so right here, see available land for sale. Deeply discounted owner finance land, like whatever that hook is, whatever the thing is that they're looking for, put that up there in a big bold headline that's easy to read, especially on mobile, and then tell them exactly what they can get from that site. Looking for land to build a farm or just an investment. Farm Finder is the number one source for great deals. A new land deals added daily. And then you have to have a really good, clean, clear form that's great on mobile devices, because a lot of your land sellers and buyers are going to be picking up that on a mobile device. I see a lot of websites, guys, where there's big old huge forms, 7, 8, 9, 10 form fields that they're requiring people to fill out. And if you can imagine, people have thumbs in different sizes. And let's say it's a big old form, huge form with tiny, tiny form fields. They're trying to fill this thing out on their thumb. If it's difficult for somebody, they will not do it. Okay, it'll sit there. They'll say, I'll come back to it later, and they won't come back to it later. So when you shrink this puppy down to mobile, you can see how big those form fields are going to be, how big the button is. Okay, there's about 60 or 70 different conversion elements that we built into our websites, all the way from the size of the button, the contrast color of the button, what words are on the button, the form fields, the order of them. All of those things are things we've tested to optimize for conversion. So if you're going to go set up a website on your own or any of our competitors, we're the only ones in the industry that actually thoroughly test all this stuff. We've brought over 5 million leads in the past 6 years. So that's what we bake into this stuff here. And now let's look at this one. So if you're going after sellers, look, the messaging once again in this other website, looking to sell your land fast. We're ready to buy. We're not brokers, no commission, no fees. We pay all the closing costs. We'll cover everything. Just put in your information. Okay, so you can see the difference between those two. Now, someone might be asking, are these pulling in leads? They are. This view that you're going to see is one that only I can see, since I own the company. Like, customers won't see this view. But this particular website has over 17,239 buyers that have submitted through this in the last 3 years. Okay. That's one website, y'all. That's one website.
He does he does good content.
Yep, he does good content, and we'll show you guys what that is. We'll show you guys why they're getting so many leads. Okay, so let's look at this one. Now we're talking sellers. Can you get, like, are sellers actually going online to submit? Well, here's the deal. The majority, like your volume, guys and gals, your volume for localized area is usually going to come from your outbound. Okay, so your direct mail, things like that. And here's the reason for that. Is there's different types of motivation with a lead, with a land seller or buyer. And this goes for houses too. The first type of motivation is they have the pain, but they're not really, it's not so painful that they're seeking out a problem or a solution yet, right? They've got the pain, they got the land there. That'd be nice to get rid of it, but I'm not really like pounding Google and hitting Google to find a solution because I just really need to get rid of it yet. So your direct mail piece that's landing in their door, that's going to do what I call activate demand. Okay, your direct mail piece activated demand that was latent. It was there, but they're not actively searching Google to try to solve it. And that's the majority of your demand. Now, the ones who are going to go to Google, the ones who have active demand rather than latent demand, your active demand people are actively going to Google and typing up phrases like this, like sell my land, Oregon, or whatever. And you can see Google's giving me suggestions saying, hey, people are typing this every month. This might be what you mean. So people are actually going to Google typing this stuff, sell my land, Oregon. Okay, now you see some sites popping up here. That's a carrot site right there. There's some other carrot sites in here as well. Zillow pops up there. We're beating Zillow. What else are people typing in for land? Well, how to sell, let's go. How to sell vacant. Look at this. How to sell vacant land. How to sell vacant land by owner. How to sell vacant land on Zillow. How to sell vacant land without a realtor. So if I'm looking for land in Arizona, okay, I might put how to sell vacant Arizona. How to sell vacant Arizona land without a realtor. And then I want to rank really well for that because those are the people that I'm going to be able to help. They're the ones who I'm going to be able to help. And I'll show you guys exactly how to do that. Okay. So are sellers going to Google to find stuff? The answer is yes. The most motivated ones are. Okay. The ones who are the most motivated to sell are the ones who are going to Google. It's the quickest time to sell, oftentimes the highest margin, and oftentimes the easiest to work with. The ones from your latent demand that are being activated by direct mail it's going to take more of those leads to turn into a deal, but you're going to have a higher volume there. So you definitely need to be tapping into direct mail. So this right here, this site hasn't been up for too crazy long. And this doesn't include any phone call leads. Over 1,000 sellers, 1,100 sellers submitted through that form alone. And then another, 100 or so through the other ones. So sellers are coming online in droves to sell their properties for sure.
That reminds us, Willie, we need to upgrade our buying website. It's not up to date like this.
The visual of it.
Yeah, no, I just like threw something together. Yep. We get so many leads, but I feel like we can get even more with a better buy side website.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I can show examples of some of this stuff too. I mean, one of the important things, whether you're using Carrot or not, I mean, with Carrot, you launch a site, you launch a land site, and you can pick, hey, I want a land buyer site, land seller site, or wholesale, motivated house seller, whatever it is. You can pick it by the niche type of lead, and then you get a website set up to convert really well. It's got all the forms, it's got all the content, it's got all the pictures. But what you need to do then is personalize it, right? Like you need to personalize it. You need to get your pictures swapped out there. If you're buying properties in Arizona, but you have like a picture of this lush green, like Maine lake, that just doesn't match up. So you need to make sure the pictures match where you're buying land. Get credibility and testimonials up there. Going back to the whole Amazon thing, dude. If can you imagine if you saw a dude post a thing to sell a piece of land on Craigslist or whatever it is, and it says $1,500 or $4,000 or whatever. I'm like, so am I actually buying this land? Like I'm sending this person cash somewhere across the internet. Am I really getting it? Like, how do I know that they're real? How do I know that they're like, you can sell your properties for more actually when you create demand because you're really credible. If I come here to express land offers, okay, hey, are they real? Let me click the about page. So we encourage everyone to create a real about page. Okay, Dominic Prouse right here. He's the owner of it. I can see Dominic's face. He talks about how he got into the business. It all started with lots of frustration and vision for a better property selling process. And I talk through how I'm doing it. And then you go over here and you see all these things and you put these credibility badges, 100% hassle-free guarantee. Okay. We pay the closing fees. We pay your back taxes. Okay. There's just all these credibility elements he's putting in here. SSL encrypted. We do a free SSL certificate for your sites. Credibility. Okay. Testimonial. So by the time I come here, guys, and he's even posting our content. So he's using our content process in here as well. This is an automated content from our tool. He didn't write this. Our system wrote this for him. He's like, cool. If I land on here, I'm probably going to buy the darn piece of property or sell the property to Dominic because there's the credibility's there. That's a big deal. Video's a big deal. I'll give you guys a couple ideas here. Let me go over to Jeff Fassett. So Jeff Fassett is a client of ours, Southwest Land Deals. I don't know if you guys know Jeff. But Jeff buys a ton of properties, and so he launched this site here, Arizona Land for Sale. And he's got a land, he's got a land seller, like a motivated seller one as well. He didn't really do a lot of customization. Like this is kind of how it was when he launched the site, right? He swapped out the photo so it looked like Arizona. He put his simple logo up there. He added some more things, which kind of made the nav bar a little bit crowded, but swapped out a photo. Pretty much everything else is kind of, he did a little bit. He wrote this content. Everything else up here and that form was all already there. It was like already in place. He just modified it. The next thing he did, which I suggest, write this tip down, guys. Once you launch your site, get the thing personalized, localized, get credibility on there. That's going to help you close your leads into deals better. Now, the next thing is, how do we now get leads? How do we get extra leads that we wouldn't have got from our offline stuff? Well, write down a list of all of the areas you buy land. Okay. If you buy in different states, write those states down. If you buy in just one state, but these certain areas, write those areas down. And you're going to come up with a list of what I call locations or niche locations. And just like Zillow or LoopNet, like if I was to go type investment properties for sale in whatever, like Portland or whatever the city is, you're usually going to find LoopNet, one of the top 2 or 3 rankings in Google. Same thing with Zillow and Realtor. They're always going to be up there. Why is it? It's not because their homepage. It's not because their homepage is ranked number 1 in Google for all these cities. If I click this at LoopNet's homepage, loopnet.com is not what's coming up. It's LoopNet's specific page for the Portland, Oregon market. Okay. So we take that strategy, and we were the pioneers in this industry. We took that strategy and we said, well, we did this 6.5 years ago. What if we were to create location-specific landing pages for every location that we're buying or selling in? Would we be able to duplicate the LoopNet experience to where you're ranking for all those niches? And the answer is yes. Like you just go in here and he buys in Apache County. So he created a page right here, land for sale in Apache County. Okay, where else does he do? Well, he does Yavapai County. Okay, cool. So he creates a page for land for sale in Yavapai County. Now, why is this important? Now, I don't know if he's ranking well for this particular one, but let's try it out. So I hit that right there. You've got LandWatch, Zillow, some other ones here. So it looks like these are mainly the nationals. He needs to build up his SEO. He doesn't really have any good backlinks on it. But if you were to look at some of those other phrases I looked at before in Oregon and some other ones, our sites are ranking really high, oftentimes outranking Zillow and LoopNet and all them. But if you could rank here, if you could rank really high for phrases like land for sale, Cochino County, Arizona, and things like that, like this, land and farm, like all these, how do you outrank them? Well, the way that you do that is by creating a location-specific landing page like this. You follow our training on how to get the SEO juice going, and then you create consistent content. And I'll show you guys what you can do content-wise here next if you want. Dude, any questions on your guys' end? Because I could yak forever, but I want to make sure I'm answering what you guys want to dive into and things like that.
Yeah, there's just one thing I wanted to bring up is for us, and the reason I chose Carrot was because I was really looking to build my buyers list, and I was preached and I was interested in house wholesaling, land investing. Everyone says build your buyers list, and I didn't understand the importance when I first got started. But as I started to actually go through the process and start to gather emails, I really realized how powerful of a tool your buyers list is for selling property. So what do you guys do to make sure that you're optimizing the conversion of the email capture compared to other sites?
Dude, really good question. So because I come from the world of how to drive results online, and I have the real estate investor background, But my primary world is driving leads online. Like that's my primary business versus being an investor who's kind of learned how to do this for my one market. And so we work with almost 7,000 clients. Like I said, millions of leads, over 5 million leads have came through. And the way that happens is we use data. Okay, so we track data. So if I was to pull up, let me bring this over really quick. It's kind of cool. If I was to pull up our data set, we have, where we go? Let me share this. We have so much data and traffic that comes through on a daily basis that we're able to test things a lot more rapidly than other people, to figure out what works to increase conversions and leads. And we also have the ability to test it across, pretty much every market in the country. And so this is literally a snapshot as of right now, traffic that has came in since March 1st of our sites. The reason I brought this up because March 1st takes us all the way back to the COVID stuff. You can see like a little dip when COVID shutdowns hit, a dip in conversion. And now we're seeing increase in demand for buyers and sellers more than it was before COVID. And now conversion rates starting to pop back up again too. The reason I show this is because when we're able to slice and dice the data in the way that we are, and we're able to test at the scale that we are, we can test things and go, cool. Like what would happen if we made this button this size versus this size, or we made it this color, or we put it here or there, or what form fields in what order are the form fields that would convert the highest versus another, or what words are the ones that are going to help convert the buyer the most. And so at any given time, we're running a dozen or more split tests across our network to figure out what is going to increase conversion rates. And I'll tell you guys a couple of the really high level ones that we've discovered over the years. We have dozens baked into these sites, so you can just be an investor and you don't have to be a conversion rate optimization person. But one of the big ones is when someone lands on a website, you have to immediately join the conversation in their mind that talks about, hey, that you probably have this problem, or you're looking for this opportunity, you have this desire. Here's how we can solve it. The very first thing that pops up in people's mind is, I've got this problem or this desire. I want to see if you have a service that can solve the thing. So right out of the gates, your copy has to talk about that. And you have to have a form at the top of your site, way up to make it insanely easy. Jumps out in their face right there. Jumps out in their face. Okay, going over here, jumps out in their face. It's got to be really easy, jumps out in their face, and not a lot of form fields. So that alone, hey, here's what you came for. Here's how we can help you. We have a service that can do this. Go fill this thing out, and here's what you're gonna have. One of the small little optimization points, and people can emulate this on their own, is a lot of websites, their buttons say something like submit or continue or something like that. And what we found years ago was when we stopped using submit and like basic action words, and instead we started to build in the benefit that they would get when they submitted the form, like human psychology, we found that the conversion rates went way up. We wrote a blog post about that on several of our tests when we did that 3 years ago. The average was a 40% jump in conversion rate just by changing the words in the button. So we started optimizing button words. And then the next thing is this, guys, is navigation. So if someone's going to build their own nav bar, what happens, like this guy here, he took ours that was here by default and started adding in some other stuff, which isn't going to hurt it, but he's kind of taking some of the optimization out, not a lot. He's adding some stuff in there. But where I'm going with this is, let's pop back over to this one. The very first thing that people look at on here, the very first thing that people want is they want to solve their problem. And a lot of websites have like the home link up there, right? They'll build a website that has a home button, and then they'll do like a random smattering, a random array of what's in the top nav bar just based on what they think should be up there. But we followed our data over years and looked at what we call heat maps. There'd be a link way down here, and we saw that, man, why are so many people clicking that link? Oh, they want to learn about the process. Well, shoot, if so many people are clicking that down there, why don't we move it up to the nav bar and see if that increases conversion? And so your navigation bar, even, the reason I'm saying this is stuff you can deploy right now, guys and gals. It's already baked into Carrot, but this is the level that we think about conversion to help you guys get a higher ROI and make more money. So your nav bar should always start in the upper left. The link should always be linking to a call to action page or landing page, and it should always be the exact words of why someone came there. So it should not be home. Your first button should not be about us. It should be, why did they come there? Well, they came there to see available land. So have them click it and then have them go to a landing page, and you're going to get a lot of leads there. Or over here, why did they come here? Well, they came here to sell their land. So what's that link say? Sell your land. And then the next question that pops up in their mind is, well, shoot, I understand you have a service that can solve this. Like, how does it work? How does it, well, what content is up next? Well, here's how it works. And then they go, cool, I understand how it works, but so how does this compare against, like, what if I was going to go with a real estate agent or something? Like, how does it compare against that? Oh, well, glad you asked, because our content leads you into that. And they might go, cool, I understand the full solution, but are you credible? Like, are you someone I want to work with? That's how they think about making their decision. And then what do you have? Testimonials about us. That's all like that. So that's the main reason, man, is I walked you through probably 4 or 5 small elements that make a big deal to increase conversion. We bake it all in for you. You just have to kind of fill in and modify your content. So you just be an investor. That's the biggie. But your opt-in form, your hero section is the biggest part. Make sure you're guiding them through content that helps them make a decision. And then you need to build credibility every step of the way.
Yeah,
Building testimonials, videos, things like that.
Yeah, that totally makes a lot of sense. And I understood from early on that a website was absolutely necessary. And for me, the main function of the website is to build my buyers list, because that's how I thought I was going to sell property. Turns out I was correct about that. The buyers list is how you sell property. So you need to, when you select a website, you need to think, okay, now how is the website I'm going to choose? How is that going to convert? How am I going to get emails? How am I going to build my buyers list with that? The main function of the website, in my opinion, still is to capture that email. And so obviously Trevor has put a lot of thought into this, a lot of testing, split testing, making sure the buttons are the right color, the menu bar is optimized properly. And so from my experience, my Carrot site converts very, very well. And I mean, that was really the reason I chose Carrot, and why my buyers list grew so rapidly, just from having a website.
Love it. And like we said earlier, I mean, there's a million tools to build websites and stuff. I mean, Carrot wasn't the first. It won't be the last. I think the biggest things as a small business owner to look at, I always look at ROI versus investment, right? Or ROI versus expense. And it's very easy. I fell into this trap a lot of times where it's very easy to look at the lowest expense equals good, right? The lowest expense equals good, i.e., let me go get a free WordPress template that says something about real estate on it, and now let me upload that to my $10 a month hosting account. I'm saving. Well, you're spending a lot of your own time to do it, unless you love building websites. And then number 2 is how many leads and deals you're losing because you don't have the high level stuff built into it that we have, because we do this every day. And so here's an example on the website side of things. So every second that your website loads slower is, I think it's 1, 2, 3% drop in conversion rate. And so that's one thing that we focus on heavily. There's this website here, freshchalk.com. They put out a big study. They scraped 150,000 small business websites, all different industries, like not just real estate. And they were trying to figure out, like, which website builders are the best ones for performance, like for getting ranked well in Google, for speed, all those kinds of things. And so you guys can check it out, just freshchalk.com, and then 150K small business website teardown. But what they did is this: they showed the market share. So you guys can kind of guess this, right? Wix by far is the largest market share. It's easy. Like Wix is made to set up stuff easy, free, simple, cheap. Like, they do an amazing job of that. If I want to make something look pretty and I want to get something up fast, Wix is the thing, right? It's like that you can make them look really pretty. If you want performance, that's a different story. Like, Wix isn't made for performance. It's made for pretty and cheap. And so then GoDaddy, Squarespace, these are all made for pretty and cheap. They're not made for performance. Google My Business down here. Okay, so let's go down here now. Page speed score. So how fast are they? The page speed matters because the fastest your website is, the higher it's going to convert, but also the better it's going to be in Google. Google says that page speed is a part of their ranking criteria. So even though Wix has the biggest market share, because they're easy, free, simple, cheap, they don't focus on performance. They're the worst there. They're the slowest. Google My Business, of course, is like the fastest because they're Google, and their little websites are simple. But now let's go down here. So in their study, they scooped up a bunch of small providers, like not the big daddies here, right? And we somehow got lumped in there because several hundred of our sites got lumped into their scraper tool in the study. Which ones are the fastest? Carrot by far blows all of them out of the water. And look at this score, guys. It matched up with Google My Business websites. So we're really fast. Now down here, time to first bite. Google My Business is 0.16 seconds. That's lightning fast. That's going to make people stay on your website. From an website like Facebook or something like that. Then you look at Carrot, guys. Carrot 0.189 seconds. We're the only website builder in the world in this study that beat us is Google, and it was by like 100th of a second. And so that's the kind of stuff right there that you just can't build that yourself. None of our competitors can match that stuff. And we focus on that so you guys can just do awesome as an investor. For sure.
Cool.
So I'll kind of walk through the flow. So if you guys are gonna build a site, or even if you're gonna use Carrot, here's some of the things you should do. So first of all, like I said, guys, got to make sure you have an opt-in form here. Use the one that we have by default, but then you can go through and modify it. Like this one here. Actually, I think it's Farm Finders. I think he modified his. Let me go see. Okay. So this one here, so he modified his where he said, well, I would love to know where they found us from. First of all, so i.e. data. I want data on how they found us so we can know which marketing is working great. Number two, I want to know exactly where they're looking to buy land, because I buy and sell in multiple states. So he went through and updated his form, which is really easy to do. And he added in his states in here. So now when someone goes, cool, I want Florida, and I found you on a Craigslist ad, bam, he knows now which list to put them in on, so he can blast them with the Florida properties, which is kind of cool. And then when you're in the back end, here's kind of what you guys would be able to do to modify those types of things yourself. So if you're wanting to modify that form and you wanted it to have a different drop down, or kind of like he did, put in your local cities, you can send those leads wherever you want to send them, like through our Zapier integration. But then you just pop in here and you just modify the forms. Just click the form dealio, and you can select that form. I think this is the form that he was doing, and it's all just kind of drag and drop stuff. So you're in here, as long as my internet catches up. You're in here, then cool. There's that thing there. I can drag it down. I can drag it down if I want and make it here instead. I can change the form field options. So that's all easy to do there. And then the next thing, once you kind of dial in your form and nail that, go pick your design. If you want to stand out, kind of like the Express Land Offers one, they just chose a different design is all that they did. So this one here has Juniper. It's kind of a stacked opt-in, which converts really good. They all convert great based off of our data. But you could go like this. You could go, cool, I'm in the advanced marketer plan. I want the extra content marketing features. I'm going to test this one out, right? I'm going to test out the Hemlock design. And so it's also a stacked. Or you can easily switch over to the Cedar design that Express Land Offers did. And then you make it yours, right? You just go in there, pick the design you want, make it yours. And so they had put some custom coding in there, it looks like, to change their text block. That's something that they did inside of the custom coding stuff. So your site would look like that, except would look good. And then they put in a weird background too. So I wouldn't suggest doing that, but they put one in there. So you can do the flexibility on that stuff, which is kind of cool. But you guys can change all kinds of stuff there. And then I'll walk through two more things that are really important as land investors. So, and I'll toss it back your guys' way. Here's househeroes.com. And what I want to show you guys is this. So househeroes.com is a house flipper, but they also buy land. And you guys actually, you guys need to connect with these dudes, because they have all these leads coming in that they are not doing anything with. Like, they have hundreds of seller leads coming in for land that they're not doing anything with at all.
Really?
Yep.
Why are they not using them?
Because they're mainly house guys.
Gotcha.
And they're all over the place. So look at this. So sell my land, like the generic sell my land phrase, the number one result in all of Google for sell my land is House Heroes.
I think I've come across that website as well.
And they are getting tons and tons and tons of sellers every single month.
Yeah, if you want to connect us after the call, that would be cool.
Yeah,
we're always open for that.
No, for sure. And they would love it too, because they've got all these leads sitting there they're not doing anything with. And so, I mean, they have hundreds of them that are coming in every month. So they popped in here and they said, how can we use Carrot to get land leads? Well, let's go in here and customize the page a little bit. Let's add a testimonial and get some credibility in here. And they decided to build out some more content, and they followed our training to get your website ranked high. So they're getting hundreds of land sellers per month.
Wait, why did they build out this page if they're not buying land though?
Well, they're doing it for all kinds of types of phrases. Like if I were to go back in here and you were to look at, let's go to one of these. Let's go to the stats page. They're really good at content marketing. They just literally follow our training and just do what we say to do. And they're creating pages for all the niches that they may go into. And so they're getting a bunch of leads.
For like may go into.
Yep. So this right here, over the last, 90 days, that one page has brought 2,137 visitors. Oh, it just refreshed. It's brought in 2,000 visitors, 400 leads. Okay. Converting great. This one here in the last 90 days, 42 leads for buying houses. This one here, 166 seller leads to get a cash offer. This one here, selling vacant land. They said, cool, we know that one of our best deal types is vacant land. I'm going to go create a piece of content on the Carrot system that talks about selling vacant land in Florida or whatever. And they got 17 leads there. And so they're just kind of pegging, hey, what are the niches that we work in? And let's look and see, what content we can create to get in front of that flow of people, which is really cool. One other thing. So this is Jeff Fassett down in Arizona, and he buys a lot of land. And so he was up here at Carrot Camp last year, and he's crushing it on land. And he was just really using the basic features of Carrot. And I'm like, dude, are you using the campaign tracking link thing at all? He's like, no, I don't know what that is. So we sat down. I said, okay, where are you posting your properties? Like when you're selling properties, where are you posting? Well, Craigslist and Land and Farm and this and that, and like all these land sites, right? And I said, do you know which ones of those are working the best to get you leads? He said, I have no clue. We just post on all of them. And I have no clue which ones are getting the best leads. I said, awesome. Well, come in here and use this tool. That's our campaign tracking link tool. All you do is you pop in here, you create a link that specifically helps you to know exactly which ads are working. So you only spend time doing the stuff that works. So right here, let's say you're going to do, whatever, Land and Farm, this particular property, April 2020, whatever it is. I don't care what it is. So then let's say you're linking to the home page, or you could even link it to that specific property page. Okay. You just select the property. He's got a bunch of them in here, so it's going to take a little bit. Let's say it's this one here. Okay, cool. I'm going to send him to that particular property page. It's going to be a classified ad, and I'm posting it on Craigslist. You click that puppy, and it's going to give you a special link. Now, so that special link is going to tell you, you'll use that one now on Craigslist. It's going to tell you, hey, 31 people clicked it from here, and you got 2 leads from it. Okay, cool. So let's see what that was. I don't even know what that was. Is he sending people to his home page, or is it to a property page? Cool. So this right here, he sent people to this 40 acres of remote land for sale. He posted that on whatever it was, Craigslist or something like that, with that special tracking link. Okay, this one right here, a special tracking link. So LW, that's probably Land Watch, I'm assuming. And he got 2 leads out of that one posting. Awesome. So let's go look at some other ones over here. Bunch of these aren't performing for him, right? So you look at that and go, cool. Well, some of them aren't performing, some are. This one here on Landwatch worked for him. Looks like he's used Landwatch a lot. This one here converted pretty darn good. So that one must have been a really attractive piece of content. But can you guys see the power of that? If you're doing any paid ads, any social media, post these puppies, and our system will tell you exactly what worked to convert a lead, which is really cool.
Yeah, I've always wondered which of my ads are driving most of the traffic, and I'm sure it's an 80-20 principle there. I've never actually gone to do this, but so that's actually really cool to actually implement that. You could actually track that data. I think it's really important.
Yep, it's all there, man. And then this one here, if you're wanting to focus on SEO, I know Jeff is doing some content and stuff. He still needs to do he needs to build backlinks and things like that to really get his site ranked higher. But one of the phrases he wants to rank for is bare land for sale, Arizona. So you come into our system, add the keywords that you're wanting to rank for, which I literally just go to Google, bare land, like one of my niches, bare land. Okay. Bare land, Arizona. Oh, cool. Google told me bare land for sale, Arizona is something people are typing in. Awesome. I'm going to go create a page in my Carrot site called bare land for sale, Arizona. And then I'm going to go into my Carrot system and I'm going to add that keyword to track where I'm ranking. When he started it, he was ranking in position 27, which isn't going to get you any leads at all. And it's been consistently getting up there higher. And if he follows our training and follows this guidance, he's going to get that onto page 1, and he's going to, kind of like house heroes, he's going to get there and get those consistent, most motivated leads that are coming through. So that's kind of the 1-2 punch with us. Launch a site, customize it, get your stuff in there, launch location pages to start to get rankings for those locations. And then come in here in any of the buyer lead stuff you're doing, use the campaign tracker so you know exactly what's working. And then figure out what keywords you want to go after. Put your keywords in here, because without the data, you can never improve it. And then the last thing is our video post tool. Now it's about putting content up there consistently. And I would suggest people do this. Take your darn cell phone and pull it up. And for every property that you have or every niche you have for sellers, pull it up and say, hey, this is Trevor with XYZ land sellers or XYZ land buyers. And you might be looking at how to sell your land for your You might be looking to sell your land in Apache County, Arizona, and sell it fast. So I'm going to walk you through the 3 ways to sell your land in Apache County, Arizona. Da 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 da. You take that video, upload it to YouTube, and entitle it "How to Sell Your Land in Apache County, Arizona," and then you bring it over into Carrot, and you just use our video post tool. Where video post essentially just, it takes your video content, it yanks it over from YouTube, and then it turns it into a written piece of content for you. It just like takes it and turns it into a written piece of content for you. Like this one here that he did, adding a septic system to off-grid land in Arizona. That's a video post that he did where he recorded a short video, building authority, building credibility. He put the YouTube URL in here. Or he might have started it, but didn't put the URL in there, it looks like. Oh, he did. So you put the YouTube URL in there. Our system did the rest. Our system yanked all the words out of the video. It emailed him about 2 hours later, said, "Hey, your article is ready, Jeff." And it put a call to action at the bottom of it. And so within 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes work, he was able to put a good piece of content up about one of his niches, building himself authority. And our system took it from a video and made it a written piece of content, which is great. Now, I have no clue if this is ranking well in Google because his site, he needs to get some backlinks and stuff on it, but it would be interesting to check and see. Who knows if it is? It may or may not be. Yes, he's got to build some backlinks on his to get his up higher. But that's a really cool tool, y'all, that you can use. I'll give you one last tip on that. Farmland, okay? Right here, Farmland, Roseburg Farmland, any of those. The number 1 ranked thing over Land and Farm, over LandWatch, over all those, over LoopNet is this. It's a client that used the video post. They recorded a 3-minute, 23-second video talking about farmland in here. And it's ranked number 1 in Google and has been for almost 3 years over Land and Farm, all those. Guys, 3-minute, 23-second video, uploaded it to YouTube, added it to the video post featuring Carrot. Our system did all the writing for him. It sent him an email, said, "Hey, your article's ready." He could pop in here and edit it if he wanted to, didn't have to. And it's been ranking number 1 in Google for years for him, getting leads. Kind of cool.
That's awesome.
That's all. I mean, I could teach all day long, guy. Are there any?
We'll have to bring you back for another session. This has been really awesome, yeah. And our users are loving it, or our viewers are loving it. Were there any other questions coming in right now, Willie, or not so much?
Can't really see the chat. So, yeah, no, I think that was super helpful. Anything exciting happening in Carrot in the near future? Or, any new features or anything you guys are working on in the background?
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of cool stuff. We just put in one of the things that people always talked about was, man, it'd be awesome if we could more easily edit our content. And so I don't know if he's activated on his site yet, but we put in place our visual drag and drop editor, and we also upgraded our SEO tool literally yesterday, so you can put in multiple keywords and a bunch of other stuff. But now your editing experience for content, he hasn't switched his over yet. He hasn't migrated his over, but now the editing experience is all visual drag and drop. And so you can just drag stuff over, drop it. We've got some really cool things that are going to be changing the way that you guys are doing your editing of content on Carrot to make it even easier. Another couple things, guys. I'm see if I can, I think this side, I think I migrated this one over to it. Another couple things too, guys, is we're continuing to come out with more and more templates. So if you are, if you're an investor, if you're an agent, whatever it is, we have a lot more templates coming out for your niches, which is great. Multifamily, things like that's coming out. And then we're making video posts and all those features just easier to use. But always a lot of things happening, man. And I think the big thing right now, especially for land investors and real estate investors, is with all this COVID stuff. I mean, some people have pulled back. I think the worst thing that anyone could do right now is pull back your marketing. Like, lean into it, double down on it right now, guys. Because when other competitors have pulled back, right now is your chance to lean into it and start to build up that credibility and invest where your competitors are pulling back. So
yeah, we just hired someone today. Actually, we hired another sales guy because we had a record month this month, and we're planning on just doubling our budget for everything. And we've had an insane month over here. Willie, this has been the biggest month of your whole career, right?
Yeah. So I mean, there's definitely nothing slowing down. We're just, I mean, we haven't seen any slowdowns by any means, and so I agree with Trevor. Just keep up your marketing, and no reason to slow down your spend.
Yep. I love it. I love it. Well, guys, I appreciate the heck out of you guys, and just give me the opportunity to hopefully add some value. And yeah, I'd
Yeah, absolutely.
back on anytime.
Cool. How can people, I guess we have a link around this video if you guys are interested in signing up with Carrot. If you're a land investor, you don't have a website, you want a website, you realize hopefully we've convinced you, because in my view, it's a no-brainer. Like, if you're not having a website, you're just not selling as many properties as you can. If you're interested in getting started with Carrot, there's a link around this video, or you can visit, what's your site, Trevor?
Yeah, it's carrot.com. But what I would suggest you guys do is go through the link that they've got up there. And I'll be transparent with it, right? Like, Willie's been a customer for a while. He's bringing in amazing results there. And anytime we see a referral come through from these guys over there, we want to make sure to serve you guys really well with it. And I think it helps to reward Willie and them for putting out great content as well. They get a little bit of a commission, and we can serve you guys even better. But here's one thing you guys can do is, I did a great podcast with Willie. It was great because he was on there, not because of me. But we did a really good Carrot cast with Willie, where he talked about what he does with Carrot, and where he talked about his journey. So if you guys haven't had a chance to check that out, just go to Google and Google Carrot cast, and then Willie Goldberg in there, and you'll find that episode and dive into that. I think that's a great place to start.
Yeah, so Trevor's got a great podcast out there. I was obviously on. I'll add a link around this video for the replays.
Cool.
So if you're watching this on a replay, hopefully there will be a link to that podcast as well. And so, yeah, thanks for joining us, Trevor. Again, if anyone is interested in starting land investing, you're in the land investing space, you want to learn from Paul and I, we've got a new course. You can go to landinvestingpros.com, find more information there. But Trevor, we really appreciate you joining on today.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Amazing stuff. I can't wait to see the impact you guys make to all the land investors out there. Thank you.